in small towns. I've met people who literally don't have running water, and they're as nice and as civil as can be. Why is that? I don't know how measurable really your argument is. Doctor, followed by Ben, followed by David.
Thank you. Um, anyway, I try to give my own perspective coming from an Asian thing. Fantastic topic. I really liked it, and I think the answer is yes. For one thing, that is because somebody like you thought about civility, that word itself. So that means humanity is not lost. That makes me really hopeful. So somebody is thinking about civility, somebody would like to talk about
please don't hang your hat of hope on the shoulders of spirit. Oh my God, please don't do that. I cannot live up to that, but thank you for
Sure. So that means it's there, and my way of looking at it is that man inherently has that aspect, the feelings, right? We may see lots of bad things that we hear, we discuss, and then sometimes we lose hope. But I think the resonant frequency, the fundamental frequency is to be hopeful, be good to others, whatever that you define as good. See, the simplest things. So in that sense, yes, civility is going to return, because I also feel that what goes up has to come down. So it is a circle of life. Things go up and down, and sometimes we think that it's really bad or it's already too good. So, but the only thing is that we don't know what is the peak and what is the deep. So, in that sense, being hopeful is always a good option. I also would like to mention one more thing. Probably this is something that we have to inculcate and also practice. This long time back, almost like 35 years back, I saw this in one of my local newspapers. That was a quote by Confucius. I may not exactly repeat the quote, but more or less I tell what he was talking about. It's a nice sentence. It said, if you see a good man, think of emulating him. And if you see a bad one, examine your own heart. It was such a fantastic thing, and that I was actually sort of a little over teenager, but somehow this is with me for more than 35 years now, even a little more. So this is something that I tell everyone. Whenever you think desperate, whenever you think very bad, whenever you feel so depressed, think of it. Once we start looking inside, we will be as good as somebody else and as bad as someone else. So in that sense, we should be able to come back to our natural frequency, the fundamental frequency, which is being calm and good. So these are the two aspects that I wanted to tell from the not so political point of view or the current affairs or anything. The other point that I want to say is that yes, we are in times, because many other speakers also spoke about it, the social media and then the politics and some such things, or more such things rather, even in India. It's around the globe, these things are happening. I think it is for a purpose. More and more people will start talking about it, and once things cross a threshold, I think people will automatically come back to the calmness, the quietness, and something which is good for everyone. So that's my hope. And also, in a way, it's my observation of my life. Things are not going to be always bad. Things are not going to be always paradise. So, in that sense, let us keep hoping. Gary, thank you so much.
Yes, let's try to keep this up as positive as possible. I don't know whether we can. Ben, followed by David. Ben.
Hi, Gary. Yeah, I think the previous speaker mentioned Confucius. Definitely, I think Confucius has a lot of interesting, very useful wisdom, even in modern lives. The fact that that saying that he quoted, emulate a good man when you see one man, good person, and then when you see a bad person, look at yourself, examine yourself. I think that sense of self sort of examination, introspective, and sort of putting yourself in other shoes, that I think is very important and useful in bringing civility back in our society. The I think another speaker before me mentioned tribalism. I think civility as a means of maintaining an order in society is a very useful concept because without civility, we would be back in the olden days where might is power, and whoever's tallest, strongest, will get the most amount of food, etc., etc. So human beings have evolved over the years, whatever thousands of years, to a point where we believe that having a sense of order is actually a positive thing for the survival of the race, instead of completely lawless, ruleless, if you will, which is get the civility concept out of the picture. You just do whatever you want, and so we have reached, at least accomplished, sort of a common ground of understanding. Having that type of civility is positive, and I'm hopeful that that civility has not permanently disappeared in our collective consciousness. And what we're seeing in the last few years, especially with this political atmosphere, whether it's the president and his cabinet members, as well as congressional, or for that matter, even the courts. I remember when Justice Ginsburg and Justice Scalia, being on really almost the opposite sides of the political spectrum in terms of their judicial philosophy, they were both civil to each other, and generally speaking, that was well accepted and considered not a hindrance in expressing their disagreement with each other. So I think for the courts nowadays, I'm seeing less and less that type of civility. So certainly, that's why we're talking about this issue. We're sensing a lack of civility, especially from our president with the airplane, the meme that he published. That's a really extreme example. But I think human nature is such that civility is something that we treasure, we value, and it will help us maintain an orderly society. Now the question to me is, how do we judge civility? How do we, first of all, define civility, which is relatively easy, but how do we maintain that civility? Is it the civility where we would use some sort of replacement criteria? For example, maybe language, maybe religion, abide by, and that is maintained relatively sort of civility in the orderly conduct of the society in the U.S. up until, I guess, nowadays when the president is starting to challenging the Constitution, being whether he wants to adhere to that or not. So, come next few years, if we do have another president, knock on wood, that he will not be the third term or fourth term president, then I think civility will be back, and we will soon realize whether it's Confucius' teaching or whether it's the practicality of maintaining an orderly society. And we would consider civility is something that's positive that we would all like to have. The last thing I want to say is the technical aspect of civility disappearing or being less of an important concept has something to do with technology. Specifically, the phenomenon where humans are more and more connecting via virtual world, whether it's online, whether it's video, or for what we're doing, Clubhouse, compared to physically face-to-face gather around a bonfire or a living room couch or table having conversations. So for that matter, I think civility, in my mind, that contributes to the disappearing of civility, just because it's so much easier to scream and yell and curse you over the phone versus right in front of your face. Imagine, Gary, if we were having a conversation on the train, facing each other, I think it would be very different for me to be so mad and scream at you versus holding a phone in my face and then just wanted to release my anger via lack of civil behavior. So with that, I think I highly encourage we engage in more human interactions in an offline scenario versus just relying more and more on the virtual world. But I'm generally positive. Thank you, Gary.
Thank you, Ben. Uplifting. David, don't end this on a downer. You're up.
Well, I'll try not to, Gary. Ben and Dr. Me, they obviously cited some great writings. I like to cite the great Buddha, who, through many of my travels, I've had to understand why these cultures would build such massive edifices to this man who believed in simplicity. And one of his core tenets is the suffering. Life is impermanent. So while we suffer under Trump, we have the knowledge of knowing it's hopefully not permanent. And Gary, I say that because with life and pain and suffering, we do need guidance, we do need insights on how to navigate. But for many Americans, suffering is taking the for many Americans, suffering is going to be involving their health care, seeing their loved ones shackled and taken away by ICE. There's the tariffs and the farmers and those that have been impacted by it. So while we pivot, we navigate, and we try to find a way to fight what it is that is before us, it's very important that we do that civilly, irrespective of the damage or the outcomes that we're seeing. We didn't see civility on January 6th when there were those who rained on the White House, or the Capitol building, believing that the election was stolen. Was there a better way to address that versus being uncivil? And so I think we need to look at this nation and how things have been transacted when civility was involved. We can go back as far as Abraham Lincoln, and we have President Trump addressing reporters today, or writers, whoever it was today or yesterday, and he thinks he's a better president than Lincoln or Washington. Well, to go back to your comments, Gary, about who's willing to sacrifice themselves on the altar of right and wrong, to stand up to truth, to stand up to justice. And we can go back to Lincoln, who, during the Great Civil War, and the problems facing the nation, whether or not the nation was going to be divided into two, Frederick Douglass showed up and said, "Mr. President, you're the the President of the United States, not of white men. And with that, Lincoln proceeded to draft the proclamation, Declaration Proclamation, and to conscript black soldiers into the Union Army to fight not just the Union being fractured, but slavery. So we saw that he paid for his life because of that decision, and we saw the outcomes after that. So where are Lincolns today? Where are the politicians that want to stand up and to face this man? And Gary, I think there is a possibility of civility going forward, but it can't be uncivil in our nation's houses. We see Donald Trump jackhammering the White House and refashioning it into his own image with this, gilded ballroom. This is the optics of this are very much not American in my opinion, because this house has been the way it's had different alterations in the past, but this is a complete refiguring of the symbol of this great nation. And so I think he's going to take this as far as he can take it, and hopefully in the next 3 years we'll have another person in the White House who's going to try to bridge the gap here. And let's talk a little bit about it. I'm going to try to do on a positive note, Garrett, because I know it's important to accentuate the positive in cases like this. But let's ask ourselves why Kamala Harris was not elected. Let's ask ourselves why a nation would pick him over her. And we have examples of bad elections in our history, Gary. Particularly if you look at the Louisiana gubernatorial race in 1991-92, where you had a former Klansman, David Duke, running for that office, and he was going against a Democratic opponent who had a bad history of gambling and infidelity and the like. But he garnered quite a bit of the votes, irrespective of those positions that he had with regard to white nationalism. So, Gary, what I'm trying to say is that so long as we're embedded in these mentalities and these identities that we feel we're willing to die for, and to die for it by any means necessary, we're not going to get to the promised land that Dr. King talked about. And that's what I'm hoping for as an American, because as America continues to become more diverse, and the internet, we talk about the internet, continues to bring world communities and languages together, our nationalism and our identities are going to have to somehow flex. And we're seeing it in the nationhoods of China, we're seeing it in Russia, we're seeing it in Hungary, we're seeing it in nations that are dying to protect, their people are dying to protect this so-called fiction identity of what it means to be who they are. And I think so long as we are willing to die for stuff that is really just a construct of culture, language, history, and not somehow create wiggle room for those identities, we're going to continue to have more of the same, particularly as the planet gets smaller and smaller in terms of how much population growth there is. The resources are going to be under siege. So we need to figure this out pretty quick here, or I think, we're going to have a lot more problems going forward. Now, I know that wasn't very positive, but maybe you can take the mic and end on a more positive note than that. Thank you.
Well, my positive note is to say that we're through for the day. Folks, we're here Monday through Friday from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. New York time. So until 5 p.m. New York time tomorrow for the next edition of the Critical Thinking Forum, everybody be safe, be well, and peace out.
Well, Bobby, I'm just going to do a quick reset because there's other people. Hi, welcome to Behind Bars. My name is Shiv. We are talking about the cancellation of Tyler, the Creator. Please vote in the poll up top. Tyler's been in a news cycle this week. A lot of his old tweets, a lot of his old behaviors have come out, and people are saying that Tyler should be canceled. What do you think? What say you? Vote and let's chat about it. If you are on stage or if you're in the audience and you have not joined the house, kindly do so. We're friendly. you think?
Hey, I think I or something like I didn't really see that the tweets were like presented. So what exactly did he say? But even before that, kind of already have um thoughts about the whole like canceling somebody for tweets that they said a long fucking time ago. I just think that that concept is like getting old to me. Because I mean, nobody's fucking perfect, and there's a lot of shit that people fucking say, in my opinion. And yeah, I mean, but I also just would like to know, yeah, like what exactly the context, like what exactly did he say?
One of them, he said multiple times he hated Wale. He had shit to say about Chris Brown being a Brianna. He had also some homophobic things to say, a few other things that people weren't happy about. He had merch that had blackface motifs on it, and a few other things. So all those things combined, people are not really happy with him right now. So is he getting canceled?
Oh, I said no. What year was this? Was it like multiple years over a course of time?
Early or future?
Man, alright. But no, I'm not canceling him. I don't believe in that anyways.
I got a question. Like, who started this cancel culture stuff?
Somewhere around 2012. I forgot who was
Social
first.
media.
Yeah, I forgot who was first doing.
And like, if people are serious about this cancel culture, that means shit. Everybody's gonna be canceled. Like, we gonna have no music basically. We gonna have nothing.
Pretty much. I mean, I think one of the first people I remember, like, being quote unquote canceled was, well, he just came to mind, but like the baby for what he said on stage. That was I think that was like one of the first times I heard the whole, oh, we have to cancel him or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. The LGBTQ thing.
Saying some shit like people had AIDS. He's being weird. He's weird.
Oh, yeah, the AIDS thing. And then he apologized after.
And the Danny Lee thing, how he treated Danny Lee.
Yes.
Danny Lee.
But then they canceled her. I think,
Yeah,
feel like
she
they
was
canceled her too.
Yellow Bone. They did where she was like, Yellow Bone is what he wants, something like that.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. So they both got
Something about
canceled.
that. Right, they both got canceled. And then, yeah.
Baby just kept doing weird stuff. Like he brought Corey out. I think during that Rolling Loud when he was supposed to stay away from Megan, he started talking shit about how he was having sex with Megan. Like just being, he gave people the ick. I don't even know if he got like his crossover pill definitely got cut once he said that stuff on the stage about the AIDS thing.
Yeah. He also was just like, if I'm not mistaken, but then like around that time, I also heard that the situation where he fought somebody or shot somebody in a store or something like that.
In Walmart, but that case, he beat that case because the dude came down on him first.
Oh.
And it was ruled self-defense. But I think he was just doing a whole lot. He was real cocky.
But he was fighting a lot of people. It's just like he was fighting a lot of people. And then there was a video where they showed him like kind of like backstage shouting at somebody from his team. I remember something like that too.
Oh, superstars, you'll get somebody on their team. No.
Yeah. No, he punched a fan too.
No, it was
He punched a female fan.
Oh shit, well yeah, that.
Yeah, because he grabbed her phone. She was trying to take pictures or something. He didn't want. I don't know.
He was just doing the most.
And he punched her. Yeah, he was doing a lot.
Yeah.
So
So for me, it's just like I've been, not that he's canceled to me. I don't like to use the word cancel. Nigga, I just don't fuck with him. I don't really care for him because, and I think he was doing a lot of stupid shit in my eyes, but that's the most I could say. I don't know him.
Yeah, he did something with that girl um, that passed away, that got murdered in Charlotte on the bus or the train.
Oh,
He did a
yes.
video. Yeah, he just be doing dumb stuff.
Yeah, but he can't do that shit for his city though. That was so
That
Green
was
City.
weird. That was weird. That was
A lot of stupid, weird stuff all the time.
How you doing, Brian?
I'm doing good, y'all. What's up, Nasty?
Hi, Brian.
Should Tyler Craig be canceled?
So honestly, I came in because of the title. Did he do something in particular, or is this like a general statement?
Is these old tweets essentially the shit they always like to do. They bring up old tweets and then they want to cancel somebody because they some
Yeah,
shit
so
decades ago.
I am aware of those. He's just a weird ass nigga. Like the people who really like know hip hop know that he's like he represents and is a part of that weird ass nigga group of folks. And, I mean, he's like
He's
a
always been
junior
weird.
Kanye.
Yeah, he's always been weird. That's how I'm like, I mean, do we not know that he was definitely like a troll, especially like initially. He was always trolling and saying crazy weird shit. So I don't think this is like no different. I don't know. People tweet all kind of shit to be stupid.
I just feel like there's worse shit that people have tweeted and or done through social media. Shit, all that young Republican shit. Cancel that.
Oh yeah. The text messages.
That shit was wild.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Brian, bro. Their name is Odd Future. Odd. Odd is gonna be odd, weird. He's on brand. That's scary.
Exactly. Exactly. No, I don't agree with you. That makes total sense.
Yeah. I don't know. It's kind of also. I'm kind of surprised that this is even a thing because of the fact that we all kind of know. I felt like collectively everybody knew he was weird. So I think I'm kind of surprised that people want to like cancel him. I guess.
Maybe saying Vince Staples is Tyler Creator after medication.
Hey. Oh.
The link in the chat, I guess he's been caught deleting some of the old tweets as this is coming up. So now people are mad at him for deleting tweets.
Oh, let me see.
So can anybody say what is the most vile thing he said?
Let's see.
Somebody brought up the young Republican thing. That is actually crazy because those are like, that's a little wild. That's a lot.
Yeah.
What did he say about the vote?
The young Republicans group chat that got exposed. That's crazy.
Yeah, I think like one of my coworker, one of the things, cause she was reading it too, or played us like the news, whatever, like where they was talking about it. It was one of the statements. I was like, yo, that's nuts. And then somebody said, oh, if they find these tweets or find these messages, we're clipped or we're fried. Like somebody said some shit like that.
Like,
Something about they need to be burned.
They was calling black people monkeys.
Yeah.
They was using the hard ER for their nigga. Like they was really.
Well, I don't know.
And I'm not saying that like everybody needs to be canceled for shit they put out, but like don't play in my face. Like there's what's his name? The Vice President J.D. Vance came out and said, "Well, it was a bunch of kids. These niggas was 25, 26 years old.
Right.
No fucking kids. Get out of
something like that too, like text messages. Like we need to focus on the real like matter at hand or some shit like that.
Hey, Kwame, I got a question. Hey, come back to the phone, good.
I guess he's not there.
Come on, you there?
Question.
If this Zimmerman shit doesn't go right, I hope blacks don't riot or go on to prove to the
What's
others
up, Mr. Webb?
that they are animals and shit.
We will answer her with a bet. Anyway, cuz I know you there. This is me and we going back to old Eminem videos when he was saying fuck black people. Yeah. Okay, cool.
We can.
Did I miss something? I must have missed
But
that.
then people
Eminem
not
said
gonna do
that.
that.
Yeah.
Apparently,
Back in the day.
It's called Foolish Pride. It's on YouTube. Young.
That was like in his freestyle type battle rap days, correct?
Before he dropped the album, yeah.
Oh, I need to look at that.
Oh, Foolish Pride. Oh, Foolish Pride. Something.
but then it's like, even with that, like, then what do we do about that? Like, what do we do? You understand what I'm saying?
A huge Eminem person to begin with, so that kind of, in my adult life, so this kind of,
Yeah.
I mean, it is
I feel like
right not to be
I
about
feel
it.
like around that time that he said that stuff, I mean, my question would more so be around that time that happened, like even just with when Tyler tweeted these things that specific year. My question is like, was there uproar then? Was anything done then? Was anything said?
So he was when he said it, he wasn't famous yet. It did come out later. I think there's also one video of him using the N-word in a battle. But like, and it came out later, but it didn't have much steam on it. He also tore apart during his era every popular white woman that there was. Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, Madonna, every possible white woman that was popular. Crawford, whatever her name is, Cindy Crawford, the model. Like, he went after everybody. So I think that probably was why he didn't have much steam to it. I think he's super talented rapping wise, but like, I don't play Eminem. Like, oh, let's play some Eminem.
So he fed to black people emotions. That's how he won y'all over.
I liked him because he was kind of dark. Like he just had he was just kind of dark, and I don't know. I didn't know
But
he
like
said
his
any of
music?
that. Eminem, when I was younger, yeah, he was just kind of dark, and I gravitated towards stuff like that. I did the whole emo thing, or I guess I liked dark things back then. So yeah, I didn't really get into everything that he was, doing or about really. I can just appreciate somebody for their music and not go no further than that.
That's all.
Do you ever listen to Lost Prophets?
No, I didn't listen to Lost Prophets. I liked alternative rap. I mean, not rap, alternative rock, like Coldplay, King, stuff like that.
Like the alternative.
Yeah.
VH1 Sunday morning, Virgin.
Yes. Yeah, I got it.
So Yana, you say you appreciate Eminem for his music?
I liked his music back then. Yeah, I don't listen to it now. I liked him in 8 Mile.
Right.
Yeah.
So how familiar are you with his catalog?
Not super duper familiar, but the songs that I did hear, I like the Tea is Gone Cold. I'm wondering why. I used to love that song. Yeah.
So if we
many
gonna
times
do
ago. Yeah.
so if we doing the timeline of his music, raping his mother and various other women. Same timeline when he's talking about killing his wife on record. Same timeline where he's saying he's gonna stab facts in the head. So that's the music you appreciate. And this is the same guy who preceded Tyler's Creator. This is Tyler's inspiration.
Yeah, I like Tyler the Creator too. Yeah, I thought his music was interesting.
I just don't understand the cancel thing because like this is the guy who preceded Tyler, and this guy was all over the news and tabloids as one of the most vile people to grace hip hop.
Yeah, no, I don't believe in canceling Tyler. I don't
So how
believe
can
in
you
canceling
appreciate
Tyler.
Roy's music who put this in the music? This was in the music.
I don't believe in canceling Tyler. I don't. And Eminem's music, like I can put that. If that is, I'm not gonna kill nobody. I'm not gonna rape nobody. If that's what he wants to talk about, that's what he wants to talk about. It does not bother my life. When the song goes off, I go on about my day. It doesn't influence me. It doesn't make me feel like anything is okay. If that's what he want to write about, that's what's on his heart. That's his business. That's it.
I will say this, and this might be a little deep. Low key, from like just a spiritual standpoint, there's like, and I'm saying this as someone who liked She in VHS from Tyler, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you know the lyrics, She and or especially VHS, okay, I feel like a certain thing that happens to you when you consume stuff like that on a regular basis. Like, and I don't know how good it is for you as a person. And I'm someone that I like dark stuff. I watch true crime. You know, I'm into dark animes. I like horror movies, but I also like to keep the balance. I watch something lighthearted. I'll try to keep my energy light enough, positive enough, clear enough, so that if I'm watching that thing, what?
Amir, you there? Hold on. Amir,
Yes, what's going on?
you look really, do you think Tyler should be canceled?
I was in here a little bit earlier, but I had to take a phone call. But I seen what the post that they were talking about because I did a little research before I said anything, and I don't think he should be canceled if it's based off of like what I read. I don't think he should be canceled because if that's the case, there's a lot of people that need to be canceled for actually doing some crazy.
No, damn well you didn't cut me off for that. Sorry, Mayor. I appreciate you. No, it's not you, but I'm just saying, Kwame, don't cut me off.
My bad. Just for content, that's all.
You can go ahead. I'll try to remember what I was talking about.
You were talking about that you try to balance the stuff that you watch and listen to.
Yes, balancing the stuff that I was talking. I'm sorry, Mayor. It's not a you thing.
Oh no, my bad.
I'm trying to lay you out and left you for dead. Look at that. He don't care nothing about you.
Oh, good thing I'm cool with being by myself.
No, I like listening to stuff like that, consuming stuff like that. I think over time does have an effect on a person. So, yeah, people that listen to Eminem, I think it was Cosmo or something was like, yeah, I like that song. I listen to that all the time. I know word for word. I just think over time it does affect you in a certain type of way, a certain energy that it invites within you that will cause you to have a certain whatever. Anyway, go ahead, Mary. Should Tyler be canceled or not?
Like I said, I don't think he should be canceled, especially like looking at the dates. I don't know if I'm looking at the right ones, but that should say like 2011, 2015, like. And y'all still if people still ain't canceled Kanye West yet. So it's like, I'm sorry, and I love Kanye, or the old Kanye, but they still ain't canceled him yet either. And I actually do agree with you. You have to have a balance with that, like the horror movies, the trap music that you listen to, and things like that. It does have to have a balance. You can start seeing it like show up in your life to an extent.
Low-key, you were were trash. Like the energy that you brought yourself to was literally trash. So if you talking about some crazy shit gonna happen to you. And if you pull, eventually pull someone, like you manifest what's around you. So if you're surrounded someone, I can't listen to Durham Gray every day. I'll lose my damn mind. Hi, Neiman. Chris, what was your question? Chris, what was your question?
What's up, y'all? Was you canceling Eminem for the shit he did back in the day?
I mean, people tried. The white folks were more pressed about Eminem than anybody else.
I just said that. And like the thing is, like these tweets were like, it's not like this wasn't like common knowledge. This was the culture at the time. Like a lot of things preceded this before. Like we had South Park out at the time. Like that was as crazy as it got. Like if you're talking about like from a media standpoint, like we watched those shows continuously over and over again. So that was just the culture. So if you want to like dig up tweets from 2011, 2015, then you got to hold the entire culture accountable because we kind of looked at that and just brushed it off. The entire culture did.
Yep. I will say I do find this a little bit corny because I know there's a lot of niggas that have always had hated Tyler from like the early eras, and I get it. But like for niggas to quasi get mad at him over his fan base being pieces of shit, even though on like multiple occasions he's mentioned that he don't like these white people even prior to him.
I am not a piece of shit. That was crazy.
Yeah, he ain't never like he's never really liked his white fans. This really just seems like niggas is mad about him having white fans and the white fans being like raging pieces of shit. And we shouldn't be shocked by that as white people.
Think about the shirt with the blackface motif.
Oh yeah, no, I know the shirt, him and the KKK mask. Even when you go and look at some of the Loiter Scott skits, they're fucking crazy in comparison to what would be okay for today. But to be quite honest, that was pretty much the norm comedically at that time. And for them, it was just shock humor. For again, white folks, they think it's funny and they get to be on the joke because, oh my God, I love Tyler the Creator. But I'm so not shocked by any of the tweets because I was there. I liked the music. I was witnessing the shit. I was online. There was a lot worse shit that was said online than whatever the fuck he said on his tweets.
Deadass. But I think people just ain't listened to Tina in a while. Go listen to Tina.
Facts.
Okay, Tyler was saying some shit, but then, Taco was saying some shit, Jasper was like, all of them was just on some shit.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I think the really, really nasty thing that no one actually wants to unpack that I would have thought got him in trouble is the album where he's talking about the girl that he's talking about. They met when she was like 17. And that nigga's 30.
Trying to get Tyler canceled. Even worse. Here we go.
No. What happened? Call me if you get lost. So call me if you get lost. I think people, and this is again the thing that kind of the fans already did, and like this, if you get lost, the girl that he's talking about is the same girl that he talks about in the Igor love triangle thing, because essentially he was dating the boy in Igor that was originally that dude's girlfriend, and then dropped the dude to go hang out with the girl. And the girl was like 17 or 16 when they first met, but they didn't start dating until I think technically a little bit after she turned 18. during this age, he would have been 28. It looks kind of suspect because why are you sitting around? Why are you out here dating 18-year-olds?
So he was older. Okay, my bad.
Very much. Yeah, no, that's the thing. He's very much older than the people that he was dating at this time. I would have thought that would have got him in. The fucking Young song would have probably like raised a couple. Well, that's the problem. That's kind of the thing that Tyler gets away with because he was so not serious the first like 3 years of his career. You never know if he's joking or being dead ass, even when he's being dead ass.
But you're not talking about that Chloe girl.
He's trolling.
No, it wasn't Chloe. I forgot. No, it's not Chloe. It's fuck all the forums know who the fuck her name is. She was like a model. She was just some light skinned girl.
Yeah, Chloe was the one he like adopted, right? Like his manager's daughter.
Oh yeah, Chloe. Yeah, Chloe.
No,
Is,
he
yeah,
has that
that's
video where he
Lance's
called her
daughter.
Esmeralda.
Yeah, but that was a joke. That was.
He made a joke, yeah.
I think he always called her Esmeralda. Like that was the running joke.
Right.
Correct.
And then like she recently, there was a video.
That's her name, isn't it?
Chloe.
No.
Her name is Chloe. Yeah. But he always called her Esmeralda, and then like he promised to pay for her to go to school or something like that. But,
Yeah, and then
Like,
she
except for her
graduated.
dad, yeah.
She went
She was just screaming across the thing. Someone's like, Esmeralda. Oh my God.
He's so fun.
His like YouTube type stuff was like that old stuff was funny as hell.
Oh yeah.
Rain. The girl's name was Rain. I just had to Google search it. But yeah, the girl's name that he was dating is Rain.
R-A-I-N-E?
Yeah.
Alright, let me look.
But yeah, it's her. They met when she was 15, 16 because the dude she was dating, I think was like 17, 18 age range, and Tyler was interested in the dude first. I think that fizzled out. Then he went to go date.
That's crazy.
Yep. But no one says
You
anything.
probably remember me because the song with Trademark, that fucking Young song. You too fucking young.
Way before he.
Okay.
Yeah, that's different. That was just that's still just a wild song to begin with in the first place. But because it got Charlie Wilson on it, no one gives a fuck, and it's Charlie fucking Wilson.
Tasha would be canceled. If you don't be canceled, everybody got canceled. Eminem, we got canceled. Yeah, a whole list of people.
Cancel Mary J. Blige.
What she done?
She was fucking Danny Boy.
Oh,
He was a kid. He was a kid.
Yeah, they said she.
He was 16. He was 16 years old.
how
Do we know that, Spencer?
When was she involved with?
Yeah, Danny
Is this
Boy.
true?
Danny Boy said it. Now, I can't say that inside of my house. My wife is there, but.
Like, is there facts about this? Like, I don't know.
I think he said it on YouTube. That he was fucking.
Oh, brother.
But yeah, if Tyler would have got canceled, he should have got canceled way early. It's a little bit too late to be blowing up pitchforks for a nigga who now is pro-black and just a massive music nerd and damn near hates everybody.
I don't think it's depending on what it is. I don't think it's too late to get canceled depending on what you did. I just don't think. I don't think this is enough to be talking about killing. Like, number one, number two.
Oh, I agree.
In the current worldly climate, even let's just say in the current worldly climate, it's like, wow, y'all not tired?
No, because niggas have been plotting on they wanted to get off their I hate Tyler because he's the weird nerdy nigga shit. I mean, really, that's where this boils down. It's other nerdy alternative black niggas upset that Tyler got famous for being a nerdy alternative black nigga.
Get that Pharrell too, then, right?
But there's not enough things to like ding Pharrell at. Like everyone can physically point at it and be like, oh yeah, you're a weirdo.
But why would they, if that's the Why are they not going after NBA Youngboy? Because he
a lot of people that gotta be canceled.
exactly, he wasn't doing that whole rock star aesthetic. They did the same thing to Lil Uzi, and Lil Uzi been like that for a minute.
Them niggas,
So it's like,
them niggas is not listening. The niggas that are listening to Tyler, or even within that sphere, are never gonna pick up a YB, or never gonna pick up a YB tape. You know what I'm saying?
You are correct.
No, yeah, no, I'm not saying like you. I'm saying like we're talking about if we did like a bulk analysis of like people's listening habits. Most people that are going to go listen to like the Tyler the Creator, especially even if you're black, you're already probably on the nerdy alternative side. You are not going to go pick up and listen to the next YB album.
If you're talking about black people, yeah, but white people definitely.
Yeah, white people, and even because a lot of the new Tyler fans, they're not even really hip hop fans. And I mean, he liked the page about that. But I remember going to the show that he had in Louisville for it was either Forecastle or he got invited to Jack Harlow's little festival. The fucking stage was split, and you could hear when he got to the older songs from like fucking like when he started doing Yonkers and shit. Yeah, the way those people, you could tell just by how they dressed, how they looked. Those were hip hop niggas. Like a lot of those early niggas are closer to hip hop niggas. If you're talking about the fans of Tyler, the new ones, they're fucking listening to Daniel Caesar and fucking like Joji and shit. They're not, you know what I'm saying? They're not hip hop heads.
but it's the thing though. If you want to say that, like, it's so weird to say that because it's like, I'm not saying that you're wrong or anything like that. Sorry, I'm doing a lot of moving around. I just got off work. But, Tyler, like, just going off of, like, Tyler, Sage to Gemini, because that's more so Cali shit. I didn't learn about Tyler and them until I moved to Cali. So, that was a form of hip hop. It might have been, like, a different type of hip hop, but it was still hip hop. So it's like even the kids now who were the newer fans of Tyler, even though they didn't start off like, you feel me, grunge Tyler, they're still doing some hip hop shit. Cause what, Youngboy, he's a rock star now.
Yeah, Mir. So like I said, the new, like I said, if we're talking about like early Tyler, most of those people were already hip hop adjacent. The people that have now gotten like as Tyler has grown as a star, a lot of people that are like becoming fans of him don't even know about like the Goblin shit. They don't even know about Wolf. They don't know about VCR. They don't know about Got All My Main Bitches Mad because that's my main bitch vanilla bars. They don't know anything about that. They just know that he's kind of gay, sometimes jokes about kissing boys, and dresses up like he dresses up like somebody's grandpa. That's all they know about this nigga. And the niggas that dress up like Tyler the Creator, you're not gonna think of, oh, that's a rapper. It's gonna be all the alternative niggas. Like they'll listen to SZA, they'll listen to Billie Eilish. They're not going to go pick up a YB tape. They're not going to go listen to West Side Gun.
No, I am actually. I like Westside and I like Tyler, but I get what you mean though. But yeah, Tyler's like giving like his outfits are like kind of like creepy.
Chris go nasty.
Well, they
No.
finish.
Oh, no, go ahead, Nancy. Go finish you.
No, I was just saying he just be like, I agree, but I mean, it just depends on who you're talking to. But I like Westside Gun and Tyler.
I just think that with Tyler, Tyler just changed his sound throughout the years. You know what I'm saying? When he was with Our Future, he was like rapping. He's kind of getting back to it now. You know what I mean? But it's the same conversation. Like when DJ Khaled was trying to say, I don't know if y'all remember that. When Khaled was like, hey man, like this dude ain't no rapper. And I'm like, well shit, he argued like he really ain't no damn producer. You know what I'm saying? He's just pretty much a culture vulture. It's the same concept, you know what I mean? I think the thing with Tyler though, especially in over the years, is that Tyler has when I was living in Cali for the past 10 years, Tyler has experimented with sounds, and he makes it cool to where like, you know what, like yeah, this is just music, you know what I'm saying? But some of the shit, like, all right, well, this is questionable, but the kids love that shit, you know what I'm saying? And that's why he has such a huge fan base. And that tour he did last year, earlier this year, to kind of prove that shit, you know what I'm saying? But that's what I'm gonna say.
I seen somebody say, I'm sorry. I was gonna say Lovely. She said, like he still deserves to get the backlash from his earlier start of his career. I ain't gonna hold you. I can low key agree with that. Canceling, I can't agree with, but getting put to the fire a little bit because you said some outrageous ass shit. I feel like that comes with it. Like I feel like that's just a part of what it is to be on social media. What you have done in your life. Like you can get a little foot to the flame, but is what he said enough to like get canceled? No, because it took forever for R. Kelly to get canceled.
R. Kelly's still not canceled. That's the shade of it.
Right.
Y'all right to the death about Robert. I mean, good God Almighty.
He's not.
Yeah, he ain't saying that damn good. I don't give a shit. I don't have to follow that.
Yeah. I mean, shit. Like
He's not canceled.
Nah, hell nah. You should have been for this, man. They put him at number 9. They put him as number 9 as one of the greatest. He's number 9 as one of the greatest songwriters in history. Number 9. You know what put that shit out?
Well, I wasn't really like. I mean, I didn't see that. Like, that's actually very interesting. But I was just more so talking about like with the people, like, cause left and right. I mean, ever since that happened, it don't seem like he's gotten like that much, like love necessarily. There's even people that I've heard like say on here that they don't even like to play his music or they don't listen to him anymore at all. You know what I'm saying? I mean, some of them could be lying, but I legit have gotten into like arguments with people just because I said that I still listen to him. You understand what I'm saying? Like they die hard about the situation. He's canceled. Yeah.
We gotta start being more diehard about certain stuff. Like we gotta start standing on business about the real shit. I feel like that's why they. It's like we a fucking joke at times because we really don't be giving a fuck. Like R. Kelly, I've had people literally argue with me like, oh, I'ma still listen to him, and I'm like, shit, you do what you do, but.
But that's how I feel. Like I'm on the end of. I mean, me personally, I don't understand the problem with that. Me personally, like I feel like just because somebody listening to somebody's music, it don't mean that they supported that person's like actions. Music is just music. Some people know how to separate the two things, and I don't think that that's bad. If you want to not listen to him, then that's on you. You understand what I'm saying? But that don't mean that somehow I personally like am not gonna stand up and speak against certain things that he did. You understand? I'm not the one, and I'm not the one that's like that did these things to these kids. I don't like to be associated with that just because I listen to his music. You understand? Like it's a difference.
Nancy, you gotta understand.
When it comes to Robert, oh my phone about to die. Hold on. The only problem I have when it comes to Robert is it's very hard to separate art from artists when he and everybody around him has said that he literally drew direct inspiration from his endeavors with these underage people and put it in songs. So it's cool to be like, yo, I still fuck R. Kelly to this day. Right? It's like, hey, nigga, he was talking about fucking a kid. And you jammed to it in a car in the house.
You know what his endeavors are, right?
Right. You don't know that.
Yeah, but
his entanglement. So I mean, the whole like I can separate one from the other doesn't work.
But shit, let me ask you a question then. Like, do you listen to August Alsina? You listen to him?
Never listened to August Alsina besides on the radio. But I don't know.
I'm just saying, like, August Alsina, like, the songs that, I mean, to your point, the reference can be probably saying about a man because he came out later on saying that he was gay.
That's different.
You know what I'm saying?
Gay predatory art. You're not going to jail because you gay unless you're in Uganda or some shit over Burkina Faso. What the fuck?
But
no. So I mean,
two of those
I listen to Tori Ramones.
We now shift to Chris' point. Y'all, like you said, they tried to cancel Frank Oceans. What you think, Tornado? Most of his songs was about man.
Frank Ocean, why? Because he's come on now.
Two adults having consensual sex is not the same as an adult taking advantage of a minor. Okay. It's nowhere near as similar. It's not comparable at all.
It's not.
But majority of them are not doing
As
much,
far
don't
as
you?
with
we're not doing that yet today.
As far as with Frank Ocean and the whole backlash with Frank Ocean, when I brought that up, I was bringing it up in the sense of people had critique and criticism of Frank Ocean. Like, how could you be in such a space with people in our future when they say stuff that's like mad homophobic, or Tyler dropping the F bomb every 5 seconds, not even realizing that at the time Tyler was fucking niggas too. So that was the whole thing. One of the things that was levied against Frank was not so much, oh, you're being critiqued for being gay. It's like, how are you being gay in such a seemingly homophobic environment? That was one of the things that people did say about him. I mean, yeah, there was people saying, oh, I can't get jiggy with this because, thinking about you is about a nigga now. But, like, people got over it. It's fine.
I feel like people got over it because people are still begging for Frank Ocean to come out. I am still begging for Frank Ocean.
Absolutely.
I feel like people.
I know it's not gonna happen, but
I feel like people who genuinely like the craft, like for like people who genuinely like art, are the ones who still fuck with Frank Ocean because there were niggas that legit stopped fucking with Frank Ocean over that and haven't checked back in since. But on the other end of the spectrum, I feel like society has evolved, and that was years and years ago, right? Because recently, Isaiah Rashad got exposed for being bisexual or homosexual, whatever the case may be.
because of that video.
And niggas was like, you know what? Fuck that. We like Isaiah Rashad. Like, that's our nigga. We don't give a fuck. And matter of fact, who's the motherfucker who released the video? Because fuck them.
But that's what I said. Like, if I'm listening to somebody's music, like their lifestyle, or like, as far as Isaiah Rashad, like that has nothing to do with me. When I'm listening to, like I said, even just with R. Kelly, that has nothing to do. Like, when I'm listening to the music, I'm not thinking about kids. I'm thinking about what the mood of the song is giving. So that's the only reason why I said what I said. I could understand why somebody wouldn't, because it's a sensitive topic. I just don't like the whole people chastising somebody else over something like that. I just don't think that is fair.
Yes, it is. The whole thing was, it's like the levels of like, what are you doing? A person being gay, it's like, okay, that's not enough to be canceled. But a person, or for them to stop listening to their music and stuff like that. But a person doing some extreme ass shit, as what Bill Cosby and R. Kelly and a lot of other people were doing, yes, I feel like that is enough. Honestly, I feel like it's enough to go to jail for.
Yes,
and then
for sure.
for it. So, like, it's like, I feel like that is enough because one thing I was doing when I moved to Florida, I was listening to a lot of drill shit, right? And then I had to stop listening. I don't listen to a lot of drill shit no more because I started realizing y'all name dropping people that y'all quote unquote had something to do with their murder. I don't agree with shit like that. So I stopped listening to shit like that. I don't support shit like that. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, at what level do people gotta, like, you feel me? It needs to be a certain level. Like, if it's extreme, no, yes, they need to be canceled. They do. If you're talking about killing somebody's son that was 14, all because of gang shit, that's bullshit to me.
My question is, who decides what's extreme? Because to me, with this canceling shit, it's like the sin is in the eye of the beholder. So if you don't like this, they might cancel you for that. If you don't like that, they might cancel you for that. So I agree with you. Being gay is not enough to be canceled, but I don't care about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just depends on what crowd you're asking. So, and also, what does counseling look like? Because they're still out here doing shows. They're still getting supported by the fans. So we need to define what being canceled looks
like what happened to the baby.
Looks like. Because it's not real.
Well, it is real. What happened to the baby was
it's not a real thing.
What happened to the baby
I don't think it's real.
What happened?
It's not real.
Okay.
It's not real.
Wait, because I said it. Tell me how it's real. Let me know.
I just said it. You wasn't listening.
Hey, Dream.
We're not doing that. We're not doing that.
Hold on. Hey, Dream, I'm gonna
We're not doing that.
I'm not trying to argue. I literally just did say it. I said,
hold on. Hey, Dream.
Repeat it. I didn't hear you. Say it again.
What's up, Kwame?
No, hold on.
Oh, okay.
Hold on. So I'm gonna Spotify. This is one source. Hold on. Hey, Dream on Spotify. This is one source, but the baby on Spotify has 26 million monthly listeners. That ain't canceled.
And how much of those he was everywhere, all over the social media. Ain't nobody checking for the baby now.
What did I say?
He's still doing shows. He's still doing shows.
Listen, that may be true. Let me finish. Let me finish. Let me finish though. Let me finish. He is a multi-millionaire. Yes, but that's because you're not listening. How are you gonna ask when I'm listening? You know you can't talk and still try to listen at the time. I don't think that's conducive to the American.
With your sex up, Shawty.
Okay, thank you. So what I was saying was, and this year off, yeah. Okay, so what I was saying was, the baby was higher than fish grease at one point. When he said that shit about them gay people, the HIV shit, he was. Now all of a sudden he's getting canceled from tours. He's getting canceled from booking those fucking festivals. They would not book him. People, they was giving away his tickets to his fucking concert dates. Nobody wanted them for a free year ago. Man, niggas would have dropped kicked their grandma for the baby ticket 6 years ago. Now, niggas can give you a ticket for free and you will not take it. Most people.
I think to Ove and Asha's point, as someone who liked the baby, it took a lot for the baby to get canceled in the way he is now. It was not like an immediate, like, he was, I'll admit, one of the first things that started off was that thing about the AIDS thing comment. He got removed from like the Dua Lipa song and he lost a lot of his crossover and commercial appeal. But niggas is still fucking with him. He was not losing momentum whatsoever when it came to hip hop or whatever. He might have lost some of his mainstream appeal, but here he was still very much, people liked him, desired him, wanted him around. He was still getting books, still selling. He just lost that crossover audience. Then you have him doing the stuff with Tory after the Megan thing. Then you have him talking shit about Megan. Then you have him in a video like Crucify Jesus. Then you have this whole entanglement with Danny Lee. Then you have this other shit that was going on. And even after that now, all he did was, he wasn't getting the appeal and he wasn't being cycled like he was before. But then he got that song with Sexy Red that shakes up, and then we love Big Kirk. Like, so I get what you, like, there's a certain section of the culture that's just gonna fuck with people like him regardless. They don't care.
But that's
Boosie,
but that's it.
like, let me finish. I swear, I promise you. Hold on, I'm almost done. I promise you. Thank you. Like, people like him, Boosie, those, like, to a certain section of, I'm not talking about white people, and I'm not talking about white respectability and white gays. I'm talking about in the culture. There's a certain space in a pocket. They are always going to have safety. They're always going to make money. They're always going to be him, Boosie, and a few other people. Now, if you, to Ho's earlier question, who got canceled immediately? Nigga, Daniel Caesar. God,
I would just want to get there. I was about to hit the minutes.
My voice is very soft. My voice is very soft. I don't want to say y'all. Daniel Caesar said that shit. He said, "Cancel me, niggas. Cancel him immediately." His next project that was actually very good, I think, sold 3,000. Like, he got dropped from his label. People, he wasn't selling because his tours, the ticket sales were low. Like, he got canceled bad. It wasn't until he made an apology and was like, that was stupid, that people are just starting to kind of give him his redemption arc now. And then, you know, him on the Peaches song, some shit with Giving on and Justin Bieber. But yeah, what was you gonna ask me?
So, man, all right. So, counteract, counterbalance, nullify, negate, wipe out, right? Neutralize or negate the force or effect of another. So again, in the case of the baby, can someone please give me an answer that logically makes sense in my mind to tell me that he's been canceled? Can y'all do that for me? Because look, if he's still, I'm still talking. So if he's still, and this is my question, if he's still a multi-millionaire, again, wipe out, nullify, negate, how is he canceled?
I can't make things make sense for you. Just because somebody made money previously does not mean that's just because I don't support you going forward does not mean I can take away your money and success from the previous job that you did. The baby lost a huge part of his support system because of what he had said. When he was shooting niggas in Walmarts and murdering niggas and talking about all that shit, nobody
That wasn't good. I'm sorry.
I'll say it really quick because Sabrina wants to talk, and I think Daniel wants, and then I think Doctor wants to talk.
Yeah.
I think to Ashe's point, when you say support, and to answer your question, he lost a lot of his social currency, and to a lot of people, social currency is just as valuable as money. If you're being talked about, if you're being in the news, like if people find you valuable, they want to be adjacent. Like social currency is very important in this day and age, and regardless of how much money he has in the bank, that marketability and losing that is very important. It's invaluable. And so yeah, he still might do a show. I just saw him at Dreamville. He was a surprise guest for 50 Cent. Nobody, mind you, we're in North Carolina. Nobody gave a shit. Jonathan Kirk was there. It was like, okay, he's cool, he does shake stuff or whatever, but he definitely at this point now has a ceiling. So he might be a multi-millionaire. He has to be very mindful with those multis and millions, because he does not have the marketability he did before. So that is something that he has lost that's substantial, and I don't know if he's going to be able to get that back. And especially now he did that video with that girl that just got killed in Charlotte. That doesn't seem like him or his team has where he's going to be able to regain that. But Sabrina is next, and then Dr. Effion, Dr. Eggroll, sorry.
Well, you said my actual name. Do you just remember me? Oh, you just remember me, Chef? Because like my name, that name isn't even there anymore.
Hi, welcome.
Hey, what's up?
All right, let me let Sabrina go, and then you can go.
I'm not going to say much. I just want to say I put something in the chat where the baby himself is talking about how it affected him financially, and also about different deals, like big deals, very, very big deals, like a lot of and stuff that he was dropped from. That man was canceled. Daniel Caesar was also extremely canceled. I was still listening to him. There's a lot of people still listening to him, but that man was canceled. And that's all I want to say. I put something in the chat where the baby himself is, acknowledging what happened.
I think sometimes when it comes to the term canceling, there's usually a level of nuance that comes with it, because sometimes people might be temporarily canceled where it doesn't really affect their trajectory because it was actually it might have been a controversial statement that they made, but it was actually a pretty based one. It's not something that people necessarily disagree with. It's just sort of taboo to say out loud. But then you have things like with the baby and even with Daniel Caesar, where it's one, they pissed off their core audiences, and two, they pissed off people that would be in positions of power to to actually cut off their potential. So I think when we talk about cancellation, it might not totally shut down their career, but it would definitely limit the potential of their career. And that's what you saw with the baby and Daniel